not only to students, but to prospects. And so I said, I kind of challenged myself. I said, I'm going to talk like 20 minutes. Let's see if we can come up with 20 ideas for real good student service, and we'll kind of open up the mic. If anyone has some that I didn't cover, we can just talk about that. Again, focusing on student service, not on just ourselves sometimes really, really helps. It takes our concern off of making money. It puts our energy on providing better and better service for customers, which in turn will make us more successful in our schools. So let me just switch in here. So kind of the goal today is an idea a minute for great service. I don't really go in any order. I tried to start thinking about how can we serve our prospects better? How can we serve our students better? How can we serve our parents better? What can we do for service that is over the top? In other words, we don't really think it's one of those necessities, but it's something we can do extra and stretch ourselves, which would kind of just give people that, I can't believe this school, they're just always thinking of something to make our experience at the school better. And 3 things that out of all these today, can we pick out 3 things that we can either implement, change, make better within the next week? So I know everyone here does Rainmaker, and when we have a prospect come in Rainmaker, they're going to get a text reminder that the call. I think that's really important. I really think it's more important to have a task for either your program director or for you to give an outgoing phone call. And the reason I like an outgoing phone call for confirmation, it shows that I care, because I'm going to ask the parent, is there anything special I should know about your child before I meet them? And they may go, well, my child's really shy. Okay, great. Anything else I should know? Well, you know, sometimes he has just too much energy and he's hard to control. Whatever you can learn, it gives you a chance to prepare for that child and prepares you to talk to the parents a little more. So they say, well, you know, he really needs self-defense. Yeah, you know, we're going to be covering self-defense in the first class. What's happening at home that's showing that he needs self-defense? So you're getting some information. You're not going to get through that at a text. You're only going to get through that as a personal call. When I used to do those calls myself, I would say, hey, my name is Greg Silva. I'm going to be your child's martial arts instructor tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Once you say that, now you're becoming someone important. Just like you say, I'm the program director, introduce yourself, you become an important person. You're not just someone who does outgoing phone calls and is just going through the names and confirming, but you're someone important at the school. I like the whole idea of having like a whiteboard or a blackboard at the school, at your school, and just welcome to East West Karate, whatever your school is, and you put down the names of the people that are coming in for intros that day. I got that idea a long time ago when I used to bring my dog to the vet. The dog would have welcoming these dogs today and have your dog's name on there. I just thought that was really cool. Sometimes when you go to a hotel and you're registering, they'll have a board, want to welcome these guests and people who are going to be registering at the hotel that day. Super, super important. When I went to a school in North Carolina, it was Balanced Martial Arts. They had a basket of Halo oranges on the counter, which I was thinking was really cool. If you've ever been to a hotel where they have a basket of cookies or something like that, that's a cool greeting you'd never expect to get at a martial arts school. I thought the Halo oranges are pretty good because it's a healthy snack. So parents come in, they can grab a Halo orange, kid could grab one. Again, it's one of those things that is good service for parents and it's good service for your students. Get ready to greet the prospect. So if you did a personal confirmation call, and I know David's coming in, David's a shy boy, and I'm going to make sure I'm at the front counter, probably 5 minutes, 10 minutes early. I'm waiting for them. I see them coming in. I'm going to go out around the counter, and I see David. I'm going to greet myself to David first. I go, hey, David, my name is Greg Silva. I can be your martial arts instructor. It's so nice to meet you. And he starts talking to me. I go, David, who'd you bring with you today? And you look at the parents. So I think it's really cool to show the parents that the child is number one. Of course, you're going to talk to them, but making rapport, building rapport with the prospect, it's a really cool way to do it. So instead of having your front-end person come looking for you, say, hey, David's here for his first class. Do you have time? No, we have time. We know David's coming in. We're going to be out there, and we're going to be ready. Super service. Make sure the front end of your school is super clean. Super clean by a woman's point of view or a client's point of view. I was at a school last week. The gentleman thought his front end counter was clean. I thought it was very messy. He had stuff all over. He had pens. It's stuff all over his desk at the front end. You know, that's not organized. Make sure it's really organized. When people come in, they get a great first impression. Doug Bertrand is a friend. He's got a school in Washington. If I go to Doug's, there's nothing on the front counter. He does have drawers there, and if you open them up, everything is labeled. So he has a place for pens. He's got a place for paper clips. He's got a place for scissors. Everything's labeled, organized. If you're going to go to the front end person and go, I need a pair of scissors, she opens it. It's always in the same place. Very, very organized. It's really bad when you come in someplace and you say, okay, can I get a pair of scissors? Okay, I know we have some somewhere, and they're all looking. So make sure you're organized. It's just a good sign of student service. I know everyone's probably got Wi-Fi, so Wi-Fi for the parents. I know when I go to my grandkids' martial arts school, they have the password and everything up there so parents can see that. He also has charging stations for people who want to click in. I know if you go to Tom Baker's school, he's got a counter in front, and he's got chairs in front of the counter. All on the top of the counters, there's plugs in to put in charging stations. Just good service to the parents. Make sure the seats are comfortable. I've been to schools where they just have a hard wooden bench with no back on it. That's fine. You can sit there. But your butt gets sore and your back gets sore because you're sitting on this. Going back to Tom Baker, he's got really nice seating. They're leather-covered seats. He's got 3 rows of seating. The chairs are the exact same look, but different heights. So he went to American Furniture and Design. He got these chairs. One's a normal height, one's 6 inches higher than that, and one's 6 inches higher than that. The school we're going to in West Palm Beach for Instructor College, their classroom is at glass enclosed, so you don't really hear a lot of noise from the outside. Parents sit on the inside of the glass, and there's bleachers, there are wooden bleachers on both sides. A little uncomfortable, but it's really nice seating. Make sure, your air conditioners at temperature. Parents are sitting there. They don't want to sit there and watch the classes and sweat. They don't want to be in there in freezing, so it's comfortable seating. Make sure that the temperature's right. Also that it smells good. Try to separate the kids' belongings from under the chairs so it's not messy and crowded. I've been to some schools, all the parents have a nice seating area, but the kids are putting their stuff under the parents' chairs. So there's kids always going in between the parents. Gets a little crowded. After class is over, all the kids are running in between the chairs trying to get their stuff. Just separate that area so the parent area is nice, uncluttered. There's not a lot of kids going in and out between the parents. The kids' stuff is off to the side. What we did at our school is we used to have a fence separating the parents from the students. The fence looked like a UFC fence. We used to have the kids, and they would have clips on their bags and actually clip them to the fence. I have seen other schools that will just have a fence against the wall. Instead of using cubby holes, kids come with their bags. They have those little hooks, hook their stuff on the fence. When I was running a school with Derek Frater in Gilbert, Arizona, we just made sure all the kids had everything in a duffel bag. Everyone had pretty big duffel bags. They would take their shoes off when they come into the school. Their shoes go into the duffel bags. They put the duffel bags by the mat. If they had to go get a weapon or something, they run to their duffel bags, get it. But it looked nice and neat. Again, that's good service because now the parents are getting banged up with kids. They're not coming in and out of the chairs, reaching other kids and bumping into each other. It just makes it for a nicer experience. Ben Cohen, who runs the school where my grandkids take lessons, if I go in there and watch, he shakes everyone's hands. So the parents come sit down, their kids are doing their warm-ups. He's coming in and he shakes hands every single parent. It's not like a group hello where he stands on the other side of the wall and goes, hey, parents. He actually goes and says hello to every single person. I really like it when you offer coffee or water. I know that Charles Jarnigan is building a nice section in his school where he's got a counter with coffee always going and sugar, things like that. Ben Cohen's school, he's got a small school. I know some of you guys are probably under 100 students. His front-end office manager actually comes and asks if anyone wants coffee, and she'll make a cup of coffee and bring it to you. I think that's totally awesome. My daughter and I don't think we've ever gone there, watched class without getting coffee. Make sure your school smells good. This could be just a lot of things. A lot of schools seem to have those automatic sprayers around the classroom and above the parent area. I like that. I've been to schools where it has more of a woman's touch and she has different smelling potpourri in different pots, but just make sure the school smells good. Nothing worse than a turnoff when you go in there and go, man, school stinks. So again, we try to keep our mats really clean. We disinfect them, but we just want to make sure it's pleasant when you walk into the school. I was watching a TV commercial the other day. You guys may have seen it. It's with Audi. And the Audi says everything detailed in their car down to the smell. I never even knew that till a while back. When you go to a Lexus dealership, Lexus dealerships always smell the same. They have their own smell that goes through their air conditioning system. Makes people feel real refreshed. It's supposed to give them a feeling of kind of that leather new car smell. So same thing with your school. I don't think you have to be scientific like that, but you want to make sure it smells good. Having changing tables in your bathrooms, a lot of times the dad will come in and he's got a baby, or mom comes in with a baby. So when they go into the rest area and they want to change the baby, it should be on the sink or something like that. Have a folding table. They're not that expensive. You can buy them on Amazon. But I really think it's a kind of a neat add-on if you do that, because it's not about the students or the parents. It's about thinking about their siblings. So that, again, is above and beyond thinking. Make sure your instructors are well trained in positive reinforcement and praise. So when parents are watching classes, they're really pleased to see that their child is being complimented. Maybe he's being highlighted. Maybe all of a sudden the child's been it's coming up for the spotlight. But that's good for the child because you're building his self-confidence. And it's really good service for the parents, showing that you're showing individual attention to all the students. Make sure you follow up great classes with something like a good job note or an I like you because note. So it's just, again, you told the kid, hey, you had a great class, say you looked really sharp. Next day he gets something in the mail, goes, hey, dear David, you were dynamite in class yesterday. Your roundhouse kick is looking so good. I'm so proud to have you as a student at my school. So again, he had a great class. You told him he had a great class. Then you went above and beyond by sending him a note or giving him a like you because card. Your staff should train, drill, and rehearse on the PGs. PG1, I'll go over real fast. You're talking to a parent. You go, hey, your child is looking really good. And the parent goes, yeah, it's looking pretty good, but there's a lot of kids much better in class. Well, yep. Right now there is. I mean, he hasn't got great yet, but he's just starting. Some of these kids have been here 3 months. Some have been 6 months. As a parent, it's really important to watch the progress of your individual child. Really try not to compare him to everyone else. One of the cool things about our instructors, I don't know if you noticed yet, but they're good finders. They're looking for your child for doing something good. They're complimenting them. It's our goal to really build up their self-esteem. If you can help us out by home, become a good finder for your child at home and complimenting them, now we're both working on his or her confidence. So that's a good way to show the parents that you have a plan. It's also a good way to get the parents involved. And all of a sudden, now they're watching their child and you're going to look for the best out of their child. PG2, parents and the kid come in, you go to the parent, go, hey, David's got pretty good attendance. He seems to really enjoy it. Yeah, he just wants to be here all the time. I'm really glad about that, but I just got to tell you, that may not always happen. In fact, I can just say it's not always going to happen. There's going to be a time when your child's not going to want to come to class. He may be playing with his friends. He may be having some homework, but there's going to be some reason. That's okay. We can work through that. I've worked through that hundreds of times. The important thing is that you always bring it to my attention. We're trying to team up. We don't want to ever give up on David. So if you see something happening, please bring it to my attention. So all your team should be versed in that. That's just showing the parents that you're out for their best interest. You're out for David's best interest. You know what's going to happen. You're always willing to give extra help or extra care to the child. Show the parents that you care about them by automating your surveys with Rainmaker. Those surveys are great. The one that's already in there that's automated comes out every 11 days. The only thing you have to do is put your name in there and click to get it started. But this way, at least once a month, now the parent's getting something. It shows that you care. You're not just doing your thing. You're doing your thing and wanting feedback on how well you're doing. I think I'm doing good, but it's not how I think I'm doing. It's really important how the parents think I'm doing. So, automate those. It's already done for you. That one's a really good one. William really talked a lot about that last Wednesday. If someone gives you referral, show some gratitude. You just may want to go up and, hey, Mrs. Smith, I just want to thank you for referring Stephanie and Stephanie's family. She absolutely loves the program. I just want to thank you for inspiring other people and recommending our school. So it could just be an expression of gratitude. It could be putting that in a note, sending a note home to Mrs. Smith. I mean, this would be, again, taking it up another notch. You don't have to do this. But if you wrote a thank you note saying the same thing you would say in person, and then maybe just throw in there without any explanation a $20 gift certificate to Starbucks, that would be awesome. Social events for everyone. Social events are so important for your school. You want people to develop friendships. When I start talking to my kids who grew up in a martial arts school, all their best friends while they're in middle school and high school came from the karate school. They all know that it was because of things that happened outside regular classes. So all those social events we talk about, and it's not only the social events for the kids, but the social events that included the parents. The picnics, the holiday parties, the chili cook-offs, things like that we do. So social events is a great way for added service. I'm having fun. I'm watching Dave. That's the third one he's took notes on. So, but Craig Haley does down here in Florida. He does chili cook-offs. They go into a park. Parents love that. They love the competition. They love talking to other parents. You can give them trophies and stuff like that. But social events are super important. Taking the time again. This is, I know you got Rainmaker to make everything automated. William and I agree that everything should be automated so nothing slips through the crack. But if you're ready to go above and beyond, any type of thank you notes, even if it's a new student and you write a note home to the parent, I just want to thank you for entrusting your child's martial arts education to East West Karate. My door is always open if you have any questions. Nice thank you note like that. Good job notes. Sending actual cards for birthdays. When they had United Professionals in my school, I used to go to the dollar store and I would buy stacks of birthday cards. I always had them ready. Someone's birthday comes over, handwritten birthday card, stamp on it, and mail it. Parents that I knew anniversary dates, I would send them an anniversary. People would get holiday cards, and I would do postcards. If I was going to go on vacation, I would get postcards. I would write them out. I would stamp them. I would have my team stamp them or whatever. And then when I was on vacation, I would send them out. I did always try to do something. The postcards I used to send from vacation was, I needed a rest, thought of you. Because I thought that could go either way, you know. I needed a rest because of you, or I needed a rest and was thinking about you. MIA follow-up system. Talking to Charles Jarnigan a few minutes ago, and I said, could you show me the page of flows that you have for Rainmaker? So I noticed his MI flow was turned off. And I go, how come that system's turned off? He goes, because my instructor, Eric, follow-ups on everyone personally. He knows exactly what's happened with every person. If someone's MIA, he doesn't wait a full week. He's calling them, he's on the phone, he's showing concern, and he's making sure he sets an appointment. So that's just Charles' way of saying, okay, I could send an automatic email and say, we missed you in class, but I think this is a way of upping my student service. Again, shows that I really care. So that's another way. An accident follow-up system. I was talking to someone last week, and they were mentioning that they lost a student because a student got injured in class, and then she was afraid to come back. At the end of the day, I think it's really important that you look over the day, and did anything happen in class that needs me following up before I go home? So maybe someone twisted their ankle, and we're going to make sure we call the parent or send a text. You know, I just want to make sure that Anthony's ankle is okay. Make sure you keep some ice on that. How's it feeling? If I had someone come back to class who I haven't seen in a long time, I'm probably going to text them, say, hey, Steve, it was so good to see you in class. Haven't seen you in a couple months. Hope you're here more often. So any type of accident follow-up system or just special note follow-up system that you do at the end of the day. I also want to train my staff in recovery systems. So I have a mom come in, and she's very upset. You know, we're supposed to give her child a makeup class. The instructor forgot about it, and now she's upset. Well, I want to make sure my staff can handle that on their own, that I don't have to handle it. I mean, I just put a sample recovery system that Feel, Felt, Found. That's just a technique where you tell people that other people have been in their situation and felt like that, or feel like that, or felt like that before. I know how to, stop, time out. I know how you feel. Other people have felt like that before, and this is what we found. So that's your recovery system. Someone's upset, you just feed it back to them, say, you know, I understand exactly how you feel now. I felt the same way at times. But what I found is if I communicate to my child this way. So it's a really good way if you want to just Google that to get more direction. But again, it's a recovery system that's showing good service, that anyone on your team can handle a problem or handle concern. It always doesn't have to come back to you, but the problem or the challenge can be handled right away. So that was my list. Does anyone have any comments or anything they'll like to talk about or add to that?
I feel like paper, but we can just have you guys help with the bathroom since you're going to be there anyway. That way we can save some more money.
Oh, I don't think that was meant for us.
Yeah. Well, Grandmaster Silva, I want to add to what you just said. So we had a karate tournament. One of the students won, and she was raving about it. So she told one of her friends about the karate tournament because her little kid won the grand champion in the kids division. And then what I do is I confirm people like you talked about, and I basically say, how did you hear about us, and what are your goals for your kid? Tell me about your kid. So she came in yesterday, found out what the parents' background, both detectives, and I chatted with the parent in the beginning of the class. We had a miniature private lesson before he came to class, and then I chatted with them afterwards. It was the best possible scenario where it was a referral, and then we got to do a little bit of a personal attention before class, and it's that service, and that's why they basically joined. So it was a combination of different things that you
Excellent.
just talked about.
Very, very cool. So Dave,
Yeah.
I saw you write at least 3 things down.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I was wondering about is the with the surveys. We talked the other day with William, but I'd like to get some ideas for some different surveys or what people have used, and because there's so many different formats right within Rainmaker, which ones are best for which and what people are using, and how it's been. I can understand the how you get a lot of benefit from them, but I'd be good to have some ideas of what some specific surveys are, how they used them, other than the automatic attendance one.
Right. That'd be a good question for William. I think he's trying to think of a format for tomorrow, so I'll talk to him about that. Since I'm not using Rainmaker because I'm not a active school owner, I'd like to get his input on that. I just think the automated one that's just on there is just, you can get a lot of information. And what we're looking for is not only providing better service, but to be able to find out who may be losing interest or not happy with our school, so we can really build our retention. Anyone else want to share some ideas for good service, either for prospects, students, or parents, or something that they've heard or done that is going way above and beyond? I remember when I had this guy consulting with me. His name is Mark Gillenson. He had a consulting company in Florida. And I used to hire him for different projects. And one of the things he told me, he goes, make sure that everyone who complains, you send a thank you note. I looked at him like, are you crazy? He goes, no. He says, when someone gets a thank you note, first you can diffuse it so that he's not unhappy anymore and he feels important. So, Dave, I just want to really thank you for bringing that to my attention. Of course, our goal is to provide excellent service, and with your help, we'll be able to raise it up a notch. So it's something like, so you start thinking, man, this guy's upset with me. I'm never going to talk to him again. And then all of a sudden you say, okay, how can I turn this around to build a relationship back, learn something, and kind of humble pie. So I always did that. I always thanked people when they had a complaint. And that happens. Just think about, like, in your school, you probably get a complaint 1 or 2 times. You have 100 students. Put yourself in a position where you have 1,300 students. It doesn't get any easier. You just have bigger numbers of complainers. So, all right, guys, good talk. I will make a recording of this. I also put on the Rainmaker Business Solution today the link to download flyers for the holiday sale. So if you're looking for gift certificates, some flyers, those are done for you. They're in the vault. I put 3 right on Rainmaker. You can just right-click and save them. You can also go in, and it's probably another half dozen or dozen flyers. A lot of people, when they go in that, they didn't know that there are that many downloads available to Rainmaker. So check that out today. Okay, everyone, thank you. We'll see you guys. Some of you guys I'm going to see next Saturday. Not this coming Saturday, but next Saturday, Instructor College. Very, very cool. Thank you.
Are we meeting today, or is that Thursday?
Didn't we meet last Tuesday?
I feel like we scheduled a different day. Is it Thursday?
Yeah, I think we, let me check my schedule. I don't have you down for today. I had you down for next Tuesday.
All right, perfect.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Let me check it out, sir. And I'll send you a message. Thanks.
All right, thank you.